Well, what a day it has been right around the country. I know, well, I've been here working away. My wife and kids have been into the sun and surf and catching up with friends. Let's whip right around the country now and see how we've enjoyed the day across Australia, even though some people chose to protest rather than enjoy it. Go figure. We'll start off, of course, with Melbourne. Let's catch up with Julia Bradley in Melbourne.
A number of police officers have been stationed outside of Victoria's Parliament in anticipation of an Invasion Day protest, but this year large-scale official events have been significantly scaled back for Australia Day, partly because of the COVID pandemic and partly because of a growing opposition towards Australia Day. But this did not stop acts of activism from occurring today. Overnight, a statue of Captain Cook in St Kilda was vandalised, spray-painted blood red. There was a flag-raising ceremony which was attended by Victoria's Premier Daniel Andrews, and that was put online as well. A number of family-friendly events were held at Federation Square. Also, a free concert being held in Flagstaff Gardens, and the headline act for that concert was the Daryl Braithwaite. Melbourne experienced a scorcher today with temperatures topping 35 degrees, so certainly that may be contributing to people not wanting to come out and commemorate Australia Day.
Well, Australia Day 2022 kicked off here with the dawn reflection service at 5:30 in the morning. We had Indigenous artwork by David Miller splashed onto the sails of the Sydney Opera House and the unified raising of the Aboriginal flag and the Australian flag as well. And then we had a smoking ceremony at Barangaroo to honour and celebrate the traditional custodians of the land. And here is the 33rd annual 10K Oz Day wheelchair race. It's an international event. It draws a big crowd, as you can see, and some of the biggest names in wheelchair racing are here to contest their titles. Just one of the many free events that are taking place down here at Sydney Harbour, wrapping up with the Australia Live concert on the steps of the Sydney Opera House tonight with a fireworks show. It's a COVID-safe ticketed event, a big Australia Day here in Sydney for 2022.
More than 800 solo competitors and team members as young as 5 years old have taken part in this year's Burleigh Swim Run here on the Gold Coast. It's a sold-out event in its 12th year. Elsewhere on the Gold Coast today, police have warned they're targeting antisocial behaviour with an intelligence-based approach. They're monitoring at many different locations right along the Gold Coast. They've also warned that Highway Patrol is back in full swing after border operations wrapped up, so we can expect RBTs. The advice is to plan ahead.
Well, the National Citizenship and Flag Raising ceremony got off without a hitch here in Canberra this morning. The Governor-General, Sir David Hurley, Prime Minister Scott Morrison and Opposition Leader Anthony Albanese were on hand for today's ceremony. We saw all the usual military proceedings, a flyby, a 21-gun salute. The Prime Minister on hand to welcome 19 new Australians today, taking the citizenship affirmation here on the foreshore of Lake Burleigh Griffin. They join over 16,000 people right across this country doing the very same thing today, marking Australia Day by becoming Australians themselves. The day is not without its politics, though. The Prime Minister pressed on that frosty reception he received from the outgoing Australian of the Year, Grace Tame. He refused to answer questions on that. The Labor leader also pressed on why he chose not to shake the hand of Prime Minister Scott Morrison here at today's ceremony. He explained that, saying he has chosen not to shake anyone's hand at the moment due to COVID.
I'm here at Sellex Beach, south of Adelaide, and this is one of the few places in South Australia that you can actually drive your car down onto the beach to celebrate Australia Day. And people have come down here in droves. They've come here with their four-wheel drive, set up tents and awnings to escape the sun. And this is really celebrating under the backdrop of an incredibly scenic location. You can see the red ochre limestone cliffs that head down there towards the edge of the Fleurieu Peninsula. In the foreground, people celebrating and indeed on jet skis, on kayaks, in the water, letting their dogs have a play. It's a top of 29 degrees here today, and the water is a great temperature. And this, of course, comes after South Australia copped a dumping of rain over the past few days. It's sunny here today, so you cannot ask for better conditions. People come down here to celebrate with beer pong, with beach cricket, with barbecues, and they get here from very early in the morning. And there is a reason for that. Let me show you now. The line of cars stretches for kilometres and kilometres down further north there into the distance. They're really just specks on the horizon there. In some of the more popular areas, there is as many as 4 rows of cars. So this is a very unique way to spend Australia Day. It's a very busy spot. It looks like they're going to be here until late into the evening. And of course, this is a tradition for many and family and friends to come down here year after year.
Joel, don't do that. As a South Australian regular visitor, a former South Australian, we don't want the rest of the country knowing about Sellex Beach and Aldinga Beach and Silver Sands, that wonderful stretch of beach. You can see it's busy enough with just the South Aussies there. If everybody else heads there from around the country, it'll lose its special status. Great wrap around the country there from Julia, Kenny, Claire, Trudy and Joel. Hope you've had a great day around this great country celebrating January the 26th.